Hello, and welcome to the Sporeswaps Episode 8 intro. My name's Controlled Chaos, and I'll be your new host. So today I just wanted to come and introduce myself and talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing here on the podcast, why the switch over from Dr. Ed, and just, what we're going to be doing later on in the future. So just real quick, wanted to talk on Dr. Ed. Super great guy, super knowledgeable, total wealth of knowledge. Secluded in him. But, he's over in Thailand and we're in the United States. And, the time zone difference came to be pretty challenging. So Dr. Ed's going to be stepping down and I'll be stepping in his stead. Really, really excited. Honestly, this is such a huge honor and a privilege to be sitting here right now and not replacing, but, stepping in for Dr. Ed. Super thankful for everything that he did to start off the podcast and get us launched. And so super excited to be here. Really, 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 really honored. And I'm excited to share it with all of you. So essentially, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. My name's Controlled Chaos. I represent Controlled Chaos Genetics. I'm also the director of site operations at Sporeswaps.com. As well as your podcast host now. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about myself, tell my story, and let you know why I'm qualified to sit here. Honest to God truth, I'm just like you. I'm another guy. There's nothing special about me. I'm just somebody who had a series of life events that kind of like led me down a path, and that path has kind of like never had an end in sight. So, I'm still discovering what this journey is all about. Still discovering myself. I'm 39 years old, but still finding out who I am. And so back in 2014, I had a group of friends. And one of my friends in the group went to school for botany. And he was super, super into mushrooms and fungi and mycology. And he ran a local Mycology association that was particular to our particular county. So I joined up in his mycological association and got super, super interested, super, super infatuated super quickly with wild foraging. I would go out constantly anytime that I had free time, and I would go out and explore in the woods and take pictures. I love taking pictures of mushrooms. And essentially, like, I wanted to learn more about mushrooms, but my friend who ran the Mycological Association was not giving me the easy way out. I was not allowed to post pictures in his group unless I used my field guide to help try to define and determine what the particular type of mushroom was and call it by its Latin name. He wouldn't even be accepting of the, American dubbed names and stuff like that. He would only accept me posting them as the Latin name. So he really, really forced me to learn, taught me a lot, and made it so that it was fun, and so that there was a challenge behind every single time that I went out. Because at the time I knew what nothing was, and he made me learn what everything was. So that taught me real fast about wild foraging and got me super into the wild aspect of things. I did that for a long time. I became a forager for local restaurants that did farm to table and forest to table type products and menus. So for a period of years, me and a couple of friends would go out into the woods and we would collect in groups. You cover the most ground and are able to find the most things and haul the most stuff out of the woods when you do it in groups. And I did that as a side hustle for a long time. It made me some really good money. It was really, really enjoyable. Got to spend time in the woods, got to spend time with friends. It was just great. And then at the end of the day, we all took home a nice paycheck. So definitely fell even deeper and deeper and deeper into it as I went down that path and did my journey. And then, as time progressed, I became so in love with it that I was, going out and trying to even forage in the middle of the winter when there was snow on the ground. And during COVID and when winter was deep, I got bored and I wanted to start trying to cultivate at home. And it was then that I started my journey into cultivation, and really kind of focused on instead of finding mushrooms, growing mushrooms. And at first it was a pursuit to want to figure out how to do it. I love to use my brain in that way, and then it became more that I wanted to learn to grow my own medicine. And I think that a lot of people have landed in this hobby because of that. Trying to grow their own medicine at home, and also find their own path that they want to go down. So, trying to find themselves and find mental health. And that's why a lot of people found this hobby. And it's also why I found this hobby as well. Back in 2020 is when I started really getting into it heavy, purchased my first flow hood. And then in 2021, I started Controlled Chaos Genetics. Back in that time when I tried to become a vendor, Sporeswaps was just a swab and print trading integration where people just essentially traded swabs or sold swabs and prints. It was just spores. There was no LC back then. There was no plates, but back in the day, it was cool. You really had to work hard to make a name for yourself, and I found that everything about this hobby just became an obsession. And I just wanted to keep taking it further and further and further and further. But what I'm here to tell you is that a few years ago, I was you. Anybody can do this. Anybody can make it in this industry. There's no glass ceiling here. You just have to have drive and show that, you can produce quality product. And anybody can make it here. But essentially, a few years ago, I became an admin at Sporeswaps on the Facebook page. And then just this past year, I took over as director of site operations. And we've just been kind of growing by leaps and bounds every single month, every single year. We grow our customer base, we grow our audience, we just grow in general, and we're doing new things like podcasts and all the interesting things. So it's been a really amazing journey. And, I encourage anybody who is trying to make it, in this industry to definitely pursue your dream. You don't have to have clout in this industry to make a name for yourself. All you have to do is show that you're a talented individual with bright ideas and that you know how to execute them. So, words of encouragement to new people who are trying to make a break into the industry. But, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about myself, about my company, and where I came from, what I do. So, thanks for listening. And I kind of wanted to talk for a minute about who we're going to have on the podcast, what we're going to be talking about. And so I just wanted to offer the extension that, this podcast is kind of really forming as it's molding. We don't want to just have Sporeswaps vendors on here. We want to have it be a wide array of people, both people who are in this industry and people who are, aspiring in other industries, and, just talk to people, interesting people. So I attached my email right here. So, if you want to be on the podcast, you can email me and we can talk through it. If you don't get accepted, please don't be offended. There's going to be a lot of people reaching out and wanting to be on, but I'm willing to entertain conversation with pretty much anybody who has something interesting to say, and that our viewers are willing to listen to. So don't hesitate to reach out. The email address is right there. I'll talk about pretty much anything. So, come to me with interesting ideas and or a company you want to promote, and we can talk about you coming on. Because we don't want this to just be Sporeswaps vendors. We want this to be a pretty inclusive podcast that entertains pretty much anything or anyone with something interesting to say. So you can expect our episodes to come out every 2 weeks. They're going to come out on Fridays. We're going to have lots of interesting guests, lots of educational material. We're going to feature some of our vendors. We're going to feature some vendors from outside of Sporeswaps. It's all going to be really, really cool. So make sure to tune in. And I wanted to do a quick announcement of the giveaway winners, or winner, I should say. And that is Jay Psilocybe. Jay Psilocybe, you have won the 10 plate giveaway pack. Congratulations, brother. I'll be reaching out to get your shipping information, and I think you'll be really excited about the stuff you're going to receive. So congrats, and thanks for playing. Everybody who chimed in on the giveaway, thanks for playing. I really appreciate you guys chiming in tonight and just saying hi and sitting down with me for a minute. So thank you so much for all you do. Thank you for your support. Thanks for being a part of Sporeswaps. To any of the new viewers, welcome. And I just wanted to say thank you so much. I'm truly humbled to be here. And yeah, I couldn't be who I am or what I am today without you guys. So thanks so much. And just remember, life won't always be perfect. You just have to control the chaos.